Welcome to Salaam Nerds Podcast. We do reviews and recaps of nerd culture, reality TV, and current events from this week.
Yo, it's the Salaam Nerds. My name is Steve, aka Xmen97, and I'm here with my boy Chad.
We drop live episodes on YouTube on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. All episodes can also be found everywhere podcasts are found. Thank you to all our supporters. Please help us by subscribing and leaving a good review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yo, Salaam Nerds. It's your boy Neebs, aka Watch with Neebs, and I'm here with my co-host Jeff, aka DJ Adamantium.
Did you mean adamantium?
That's what I said, Adamantium.
Oh, I thought you said adamantio, and I'm like, what?
Oh, I don't know. I'm probably mumbling. Mumbling.
You gotta get that the thing that helps you.
What helps you mumble less?
Oh, like how you fix it? Okay, so this is a trick I learned back in the day because I used to do it a lot. You take a pen or a pencil,
Okay.
stick it in your mouth, and try talking. Yeah, but over time, you enunciate better because of it.
I don't know how to do that. Oh my god, gagging. No,
I'm sure there's some people out there that would enjoy that.
No, I'm good. We are having a lot of technical difficulties today. Today's a stressful day for me. I'm sorry. I am a little bit all over the place. I was not able to set up the Instagram, unfortunately. And our first episode, we had to turn off because we didn't have enough space in our hard drive to record the episode. So we went into panic and we turned off the episode and turned it back on. And I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
Boo. Can I still edit it? Oh, I can still edit it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, I cannot. I cannot edit it. Nope. The stream. Well, you can just remove the stream. Oh, you know what? Yes, you can. All right. Jazz, why don't you talk about what you liked about this episode while I set this up?
So, Xmen97, episode 9. Oh my god, what a roller coaster. You know, we picked up right when Professor X crashes back into the house, and oh yeah, spoilers obviously. And then he's trying to convince Magneto, like, hey, you know, we gotta talk him out of this genocidal plan. And as it turns out, a lot of people died because of what Magneto did. And so, I mean, Magneto was kind of right about everything, and I may or may not disagree with him right now.
I think I need a T-shirt that says Magneto was right. I think that's what.
You know what? I'm gonna go online and buy one right now.
Magneto was right. You know what's really interesting?
What?
The X Mansion is always destroyed. When is that place not destroyed?
How many times are we gonna rebuild it? Right?
The Blackbird and the mansion are like destroyed literally every season.
Every season.
Who is making that? Who is their Lucius Fox that's like making all these like blackbirds?
Who knows, man? Okay, cool. Redbubble, Etsy, they have these shirts.
All right, cool. All right. So the episode starts off with Magneto, and he is picking back up Asteroid M, which we saw in the earlier seasons. It was destroyed. It went into the ocean, and that was his dream. Now he brings it back, which is really, really interesting. And then we also see scenes of Bastion, and he's walking through that town carrying his racist mom, and like, you know, super sad.
All the racist town folks.
Yeah. Guess what his mom's name is?
What?
Take a guess. I want you to actually take a guess.
Let me guess. Karen?
Nope. Martha. Why did you say that name?
Oh, good old Martha.
Save Martha. Oh, that's so funny. They have a sense of humor.
They totally do. Absolutely.
Oh man, that cracked me up. I thought that was really really funny. But yeah, basically everybody in this town, all the Prime Sentinels, they're kind of just like stopped. They can't do anything, and he tells his mom, "It's finally quiet now." And if you watch the episode that happened before this, he was someone who could hear technology. He was like a techno
Yeah.
telepath, right? So like when he was in school, he could hear the electricity outside in the walls. But now that Magneto did this EMP, he has some peace. He has some quiet,
You can't hear anything. Yep.
which makes me think like, is that what he wanted all along? Like, is that part of the plan?
I mean, if his whole plan was to cause Magneto to do an EMP so he can have some peace and silence, I mean, there are easier ways to do it, but I respect it if that's the whole thing.
I don't know, because the thing is, we see in an episode earlier, Polaris actually does the same thing also, and she does it like as part of a slave. She's like a slave, and she's forced to do it. So they
Mhm.
want this, but why?
Man, you're getting into some deep conspiracy stuff here. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me face you. I'm gonna face you real quick because I feel like it's more badass when that happens.
Oh no, I can't get the camera right.
There you go. All right. So
All
we
right,
do
close
that.
enough.
Now here's the thing. Beast is talking about things like, hey, maybe we can fix these people and make them human again. And I'm like, hold up. Wasn't Wolverine slashing these motherfuckers like crazy? Like he was slicing them in half and ripping them apart. And they're like, no, we can save these Prime Sentinels, bring them back to humanity.
Oh, Beast. Like, I love your enthusiasm. I love your optimism, but maybe some people are not worth saving because do not forget, these are the racist MFers that willingly went through this transformation just to hurt you.
That is true, but do we know that for sure? Because we do know they got a bunch of people from like 4chan and like who are like these message boards. But I'm sure there's some people they grabbed just because they were like in powerful positions, like what's her name, Tilby, the reporter. Like I don't know if she was a racist, was she?
I mean, it really feels like one of those stories where, like, you know, she had those feelings, but then she met someone and she fell in love and she's like, okay, maybe racism is dumb. Like, but then it was too late to go back and fix what happened already.
Yeah, because Beast is in the hospital with her, and he is like, you know, sitting at her bedside, and like I don't know, man, is he still racist? Someone said, new Rockstar pointed out that Bastion's parents are in an episode. Yes, we talked about that last episode.
Yeah,
they were
in the diner.
The diner. She's the racist lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
she's the one that ratted out Storm and Wolverine for being an interracial couple.
We laugh about it now, but like, you know, that was a real problem back in the day, and so like,
I know, which is kind of nice to be dealing with like mutants instead of like racism. Like, yeah, how quaint.
like how quaint.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty funny. Yeah, no, that's really cool. We also see Roberto and Jubilee is, you know, spending his money for some reason and buying all these fancy clothes with no shame, and then telling him to like cut off his family, and then they get chased by these like townspeople, and the townspeople, holy crap, man, they're like, you thought Janisha was bad. I was like, whoa. That was really bad. What are you gonna do? And then
what could be worse than a genocide?
That's crazy. That's wild. But then Storm and Forge show up and they save them. And Forge's leg is not affected by the magnetism because
he's an EMP shield essentially.
Yeah, so good for him. And then, you know, Jubilee realizes she has her powers back. She goes in for a hug. Good vibes right there. I like that.
Good for Aurora.
Yeah, good for her. But then back at the mansion, Xavier and Scott, they're having a little tiff. And he's like, how could you give this all to Magneto? And he's like, well, I wanted to spare you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, but perhaps it was wrong. Like, Xavier, for a telepath, you make like a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Like Magneto, I don't know.
But no, look at Xavier's wisdom, though, right?
Okay.
For a moment, before the whole Genosha thing happened,
Yeah.
Magneto was good.
You're right. I'm not gonna say you're not, but like, look where they're at. And also, whose idea was it to have this lie that like Xavier died? Like, they went the Dark Knight Rises route where they basically made up this lie so they can make laws that reflect this lie. And then when that lie is, undone, there's repercussions for it, right? So like, it's kind of like what happened in The Dark Knight Rises, because Harvey Dent died. They tried to make him out to be a hero. That was a whole lie. And they built laws around him dying. And they built anti-hate mutant laws around Xavier being assassinated, even though he wasn't assassinated. Like, what's the fallout of that? Like, that ramifications are going to be crazy.
I mean, yeah, but if Xavier's plan worked, that's what it mattered.
But it didn't, because he was out getting that bird ussy back in space. As Magneto says, your bird bride is what he called her. Your Shi'ar bird wife.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, so we get that. And what happens? Oh yeah, Wolverine has this line where he goes, "This day is gonna end one way, snick it," and he shows his claws, and he wasn't that far off.
He was not far off. Nope.
Not far off.
I mean, let's talk about that one toward the end where it actually happened.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I did like that they put him in the yellow and brown like outfit, which is the original outfit. That was really cool. It's really cool to see that. I'm super excited about that. That was cool. Also, I like how they split up the teams into blue and gold.
Yeah, because classic colors. I was like, oh, that's cute.
And then we got the classic line. He was like, "What do you expect? Black leather," which is the callback to the Bryan Singer. Like, what do you expect? Yellow spandex. The infamous line.
Cable. Which honestly, that conversation Cable had with Scott was really cool. Like, and Scott was like, "Oh, and son," and then Cable's like, "What, you can say be careful?" He's like, "No, give him hell." Like,
yeah.
What a cool dad moment.
Carlos says it's insanely fucked up that the Shi'ar didn't let Xavier keep his walkie-leggy armor thing. They're like, you gotta leave this here, sir. You can't
take our technology.
You do not have authorization to take.
You don't have legs anymore, bruh.
We're going to re-cripple you. Like, imagine if they fixed his leg. Would they re-cripple him and send him back?
Oh, absolutely, right? It's nanotech in his bloodstream fixing his legs, and no, he'll take it out, take a hammer to his knees, done.
Yo, the Shi'ar is petty as fuck, man. And they call us the ghetto Milky Way. Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, man. So the Prime Sentinels, they're trying to find a way to reverse it. They're saying there's a way. I don't know how, because Wolverine literally split people in half, but people were getting their body parts chopped off and put back together. So like, I don't love this thing. Whereas like, yes, they're like all being chopped up into pieces, but now we can also actually still save them somehow, which is like, all right, fine, it's a cartoon, whatever. But I don't know, it was a little off for me.
I mean, it is a cartoon, but also at the same time, like, the technology is so advanced that it can do that. It can, like, we saw it in the last episode where, like, even though they were, like, being blown up to bits or split apart, right? The pieces would come back together and it'd be fine. So,
yeah, it makes sense for like robot or metal or for like liquid metal, but like for human flesh, like
they're androids now, essentially.
They are. I don't know. I just don't love it. It's not clean for me. It's a little messy.
Okay.
It's a little.
You don't have to love it.
That's fine.
But it makes sense.
It's not a big deal. Whatever. It doesn't ruin anything for me. But Magneto shows up, and right before that, Rogue and Xavier are having a conversation. He's like, I think Gambit should have been buried here. You know, he wasn't really much of a thief. And like, she's like, motherfucker, you haven't been here. Like, who are you to be like where Gambit should be buried? Like, you weren't here.
I mean, I totally agree with Rogue there. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, how tone deaf are you, Xavier? Like,
come on,
you're not even trying here,
bro. And then like she's wearing his jacket and everything, and then she takes it off, and Magneto shows up, and she's like, "Nope, I'm going with Magneto."
Yeah, Magneto was right. I get it.
It makes sense. Roberto's also like, "Yeah, dude, my mom a bitch. I'm gonna go too." Like,
yeah.
It's
At what point can you constantly just go with idealism before you turn to something like that?
yeah.
Like, they lost a nation.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, you can't really be mad at them when, like, the weight of all of that's on you. You know, you lose your brothers, sisters, like, people you consider family, just gone in an instant.
Yeah.
And then they want them to always just take the high ground, like, oh yeah, no, we got to think about everyone else's lives now. It's like,
yeah,
you can't put that burden on grieving people like that.
I know. It's very like, hey, let's just go and be the model minority real quick, and then they'll eventually love us. Like, I don't know. Magneto was right.
I radicalized you.
Yeah. Don't say that on here. We're brown. Xavier did say that he went to Bastion, and he told Bastion to come to his school, but his mother was such an anti-mutant racist that she wouldn't let him, and smashed the door in his face.
Yeah, that explains a lot, actually. Like,
so
no wonder.
There might have been a timeline where Bastion was part of the X-Men, is what Storm said.
Yeah, he would have been on that picture on the wall, which would have been really interesting.
Yeah. And his powers work like mutants, even though they're not mutants. So it's like weird.
But still, like, could you imagine a future like if he channeled all of his technological prowess into making the world better?
Well, he does.
Xavier's ideals?
Well, he does. It's just at the expense of mutants and humans, because he does build a utopia, apparently.
Yes, but what if he did it without the bad stuff?
There is no way to do it without bad stuff. There's the only one way to have a utopia. Murder. That's the only way.
Necessary sacrifices?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sacrifices require the strongest of will, as Thanos would say. Another person who was pro-genocide, apparently. Freaking Thanos. Oh God. All right. We talked.
Thanos' reasons were garbage, because if you do the math on it, right? Our population, if you split it in half,
Yeah.
do you know how long it would take for us to recover?
How?
60 years.
What? That's it?
That's it.
But then doesn't that mean that like 60 years with this population, it would grow exponentially too?
No, like, I'm doing the math with the exponential growth already there.
60 years?
60 years is all it will take.
So just like one lifetime, or like barely a lifetime.
Yeah.
Thanos, man.
Thanos is dumb.
He was bad at math.
He was very bad at math.
Oh, damn. He could have done so much more.
He could have done so much more. He could have gone for, like, 90% of humanity. It would have been okay.
There's like so many planets that were barren. He could have just made them like have resources.
All right, but we digress. Let's get back to X-Men.
we have 9 planets. He could have just put livable atmosphere and stuff on all of them. I don't know. Screw it. All right, whatever. Let's go back to this. Let's go back.
Yeah, look at the comment right here. Like, I want to play fantasy sports with whoever drafted the blue team. You let Gold go off with the only 2 Omega level mutants, and you brought the Metal Bone guy to fight Magnet Man. Outstanding team planning there.
Yo, that's so true. But honestly, I feel that way all the time. Every time Wolverine gets even near Magneto, I'm like, the fuck is this? This shouldn't be happening. He should be able to sense Wolverine at all times. Like Wolverine shouldn't be able to get like anywhere near him.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can
Yeah.
sense magnetic fields, my guy. Like there's no way he can get that close to you.
Yeah, even Storm can sense the magnetic field in the earth. So like even she understands that, and she's not even a magnetic like superhero. So I don't know, but that always bothers me. Like Wolverine, you should be nowhere near Magneto. But one thing Magneto said that did make me sad was he was like he had to tell a boy that everything will be fine, and then watch his eyes get vaporized from inside his head, and I was like, oh, leech.
Magneto was right.
Oof. Damn, yo. Fucking Magneto. All right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They also mentioned Bishop. I wonder if Bishop's going to come back because we still have no idea what's going on with him.
We got an episode. Who knows?
No, because like Bishop just randomly happened to be there in the beginning of the season, and then he ends up leaving with baby Cable, baby Nathan, and then apparently he gets like blocked or like they get disconnected, and he ends up somewhere else. Maybe he ends up back with Immortus.
I don't think they're going to touch that in the last episode because that's way too much to do.
I
But
know,
definitely season 2, if not season 3, because guess what? X-Men has been renewed for a 3rd season. Yay!
Here's the thing about that. I'm worried that without the showrunner, it's not gonna live up. It's not gonna be as good. And
I'm not so sure.
and I'm also don't get me wrong, I'm not saying bring him back because I don't know what he did to get fired. It could be really, really bad. So I'm not saying that. But I am also saying that our expectations might be way too high, and season 2 may not be as good.
No. My expectations are going to be up here. You know why?
Why?
They better find somebody who lives up to it.
Mm.
You're telling me Disney, like the richest company on earth, or one of them really, cannot do that?
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of good showrunners and writers out there, so they better get somebody good.
Someone says Storm showed up looking like Beyonce. That is not true. Beyonce shows up looking like Storm because that is actually Storm.
Don't you dare.
No, that is Storm's original costume.
Don't you dare.
No, that's her original costume. I don't care what
Don't you dare.
I don't care what the Beehive says. I don't care.
Dare.
First of all, I'll block Beyonce. I don't care.
Don't you dare. I'll block you.
Yo, listen, there's a thing going on around TikTok right now. People are blocking celebrities. It's a trend. You block celebrities who are not talking about Palestine, and they're getting blocked. And
Okay.
and Beyonce is on there, Rihanna's on there. There's a lot of people on there. So you know what? Like at this day and age, I'm over stan culture. I am over any freaking celebrity. I don't care who they are. If they don't speak out about shit that's going on, like I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care about their fan base. I don't care about anything. So, you know what? Screw that.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but if that's a thing, I'm on board.
Anyways, yeah, Storm had the costume before Beyonce. I don't know. But yes, can Rogue take Magneto's power? No, right? I believe she could. There's no reason she can't. She can take any power, really, as long as it's a mutant power. So she couldn't take the Hulk's power, I believe.
But you know who could?
Morph.
Our boy Morph.
Dude, when Morph turned into the Hulk and was like, Morph smash, I was hype. I was hype.
Yeah, so Carlos made a good point. She can't touch him, though, because, magnets.
Oh, he's had that magnetic field thing, which lets them, do it.
Yeah.
His body condom. His electromagnetic.
That's one way to put it.
His electromagnetic full body condom. She can't do nothing.
That should be a hashtag right there. Electromagnetic full body condom.
That's the name of my band.
Fucking hell, man.
That's my rock band right there. Someone says the government's going to have to bring in the Avengers to stop Magneto. First of all, the X-Men hate the Avengers. Like Cyclops hates them. So I would love to see that. Cyclops is not a fan.
I mean, we've seen what 2 or 3 so far. Captain America, Hulk, like it can happen.
No, you want to see Cyclops like stand up to people and talk shit, like he'll do it to the Avengers because he's like their only focus. They're never like there when there's mutant issues going around. He called them like fake like heroes. He's like they're only heroes for the world when it's not a mutant related issue.
He's right.
They let the mutants fend for themselves. So
that's pretty fucked up.
And he never speaks up for them. He's quiet.
That's pretty fucked up.
All right.
I like how we have pens in our hands, like we're writing something, even though neither of us are actually writing anything.
No, we're not writing anything. It's because you made me put it in my mouth earlier. That's what she said.
I'm a child.
All right. Let's see what happens. Okay. Also, like, you know what I really like? I like this like relationship between Rogue. Sorry, not Rogue. I like the relationship between Storm and Jean. They're like super like lovey-dovey and sisters. I was like, where did this come from? This was never in the original. They barely talk to each other.
Well, I'm glad they fixed it.
They're now like calling each other sisters and like hugging each other and having these like deep like conversations. I really do like it.
It's so cute.
I really do like it.
It's great. Yeah.
But I'm like, this wasn't there before. Like, what happened? Maybe with Madeline before. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
That would explain a lot, actually.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. We don't know who's Madeline, who's not. But I do love the line where she goes, make them mind your weather. And then she goes, let them
make them weather your mind.
Make them weather your mind. Yeah, the wordplay was so good. It was so good.
10 out of 10. Oh my God.
It makes so much sense because like she controls the weather, but she can control minds. And there's just oh my God, the wordplay is so good.
You weather the storm, like, oh, so good.
That is some of the best wordplay. Tens all around. I love that. But speaking of Jean, like she had a showdown with Sinister, which I thought was really cool, and we get to see Sinister do this like thing where he turns into like liquid a little bit. We've never seen him do this before in the cartoon.
In the shadows, yeah,
right, the shadows and stuff. But we did see him do it in the intro video with Morph. So like in the intro for Morph, we see him do it, and we got to see him do it for real this time. And I was like, oh, cool! I didn't know that was his power. And then he does say to her, like, I know where you begin and where Madeline ends. And he's like, if you're nice to me, I'll let you know. Which is kind of like a dig to the audience because we want to know.
That is such a cold line, right? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then Jean's like, I don't care.
Well, like now that Madeline's dead, it's like, whoa, what does it matter, right? She has all the memories. Yeah.
Carlos is like, fuck Drake and K-Dot, make them mine. Your weather sister and then weather your mind. One of the hottest bars dropped this week. Yeah.
That's so true.
I mean, I could also argue Macklemore's lines were pretty amazing this week too, but
yeah. Shout out to Macklemore. No, that's really, really funny. But yeah, she's fighting with Sinister, and then while they're fighting, Cable seems to have switched sides now because he has the same metal jewel in his forehead that Madeline had. So he's having the same issues that Madeline had when she became the Goblin Queen.
Yeah. And so Sinister doing sinister things.
So, Sinister's got a sin.
Sinister's got a sin, yeah.
Sinister's got a sin. But it looks like Jean makes Cyclops like telepathically see what's happening, and then it disappears. So like, what happened? Did Jean die, or do we not know? Like, what's going on?
That's the implication.
I hope not.
I mean, people dying in this episode is kind of a thing. Like
Yeah.
this whole series, like it's kind of a thing. A lot of people died, so
Carlos says, "Make them mackle your moors."
oh, Carlos, you can't like
Make them frost your flakes. Fruit your loops. Like you can do so many. Make them corn your pops. Oh my god.
I'm not even gonna entertain this right now.
So whether you're
we'll get off train, like or like derailed, like
oh man.
for hours if we do this.
Yeah. Anyway, Jean is fighting Sinister in this bowling alley. They take over Cable. Cable may have killed her. We don't know. But then we go back to space where Magneto is doing all of this stuff to the team. And you know, they try to take his helmet off. And one of the really funny things is like they take off his helmet so he's vulnerable to Xavier, but Magneto just takes the helmet and puts it on Xavier. I was like, wait, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, like
That's so funny. The funny thing is, the helmet thing wasn't canon until the Bryan Singer movies.
Oh, I remember reading about that back in the day.
Yeah, because if you watch like the first episode, Xavier makes Magneto relive the Holocaust, and it's like while he had the helmet on, which is kind of fucked up.
I can't believe you brought that up, but yes, I do remember that now.
He's got no chill.
None at all. Oh my god.
That's pretty fucked up, Xavier. Like, what's wrong with you? No wonder he had to find a helmet that can keep that away.
Magneto was right every time.
I know. But we see this awesome final fight, and it's really dope. And then at the very end, we see Wolverine get the sneak attack on him and just
Stabs him in the heart.
Stabs him in the heart, which he says, "There's only one way this is gonna end, bub." And he did it. And I was like, listen, why is Wolverine anywhere near this man? Like, I don't understand it. Bro with a giant, just like metal skeleton. Like, come on. But Magneto has had enough of this freaking guy. And he rips out all the adamantium out of his body in this excruciating way. And they do it exactly like the comic panel. Like, it's looks just like it. It's so gruesome. You can see the liquid adamantium coming out, and he is going to lose his adamantium.
God, that was brutal.
That was so brutal. It's something that everybody known about. Everyone's known about this, and we never thought we were gonna see it. I never thought we would have.
Yeah, this is always a joke, right? Like,
right.
Why doesn't Magneto just rip it out? And like,
yeah,
they did it. Like, they finally. I mean, they did it back in the day in the comics too, but like, they did it.
They did it. Damn, that was wild, man. That was wild.
So I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen now because, you know, even in the comics, they did do this, and we find out that Wolverine's claws are actually bone, right? And they were just enhanced adamantium.
So
I don't know what's gonna happen here. Like, how are they gonna are they gonna put it back? Because this is where we get Beast Wolverine and all that from the comics.
So here's the thing, that was retcon in X-Men Origins, right? Which is the Wolverine one. So that the bone stuff before that, he just got claws. So they weren't part of his body. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do. If they do, it's a retcon. But Wolverine in the Bryan Singer were actually bones.
Right. So I'm guessing we're going to see bone claws again. But will they do the whole Beast Wolverine thing in season 2? I don't know. Will they do the thing where they put the adamantium back in because of God, what's his face? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah. So there was, you know, a time way later where Wolverine was fighting another dude in space, and then Wolverine won, and then the bad guy who took him was like, all right, I'm going to take adamantium out of this guy, put it back into this guy, and then Wolverine got his metal claws back. Yeah, vaguely remember a lot of the stuff. Can't remember all of it right now. But I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, is that the route they're gonna go? Like, I don't know.
Because the thing that makes Wolverine so like tough, if not just his mutant healing, is the fact that he has mutant healing and adamantium skeleton. So you can't cut off his body parts.
Right.
You can't cut off a leg. You can't cut off an arm. You can't cut off his head because it's all adamantium.
Except now you can.
Except now you can, and if you cut off his head, he'll just die.
I mean, he will regenerate though, wouldn't he? It's healing.
I don't know, because I know there's been situations where like he can regenerate from like nothing, and sometimes from like a nuclear blast, and so it depends like who's writing it. But like he also just died in Logan from old age, so like so I don't know. Homie got stabbed in the heart and was old. Like,
yeah, as our good friend Dirty Goat Smuggler says, he's a survivalist. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. I guess. Like, because I think like Deadpool's mutant healing is a lot faster and almost more comical, where Wolverine is a little bit more like realistic. I shouldn't say realistic, but a little bit more like, you know,
realistic.
Like it's more like, I guess, like less comedic, I guess. That's what I would say. It has a little bit more brevity to it, right? It's like slow healing, and you can see it. And it's not like, oh yeah, chopped off. Oh, little baby hands popping up now.
But yeah, no, I'm really curious to see where they're gonna take the storyline, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, are we gonna get Beast Wolverine in season 2? Like, I don't think the audience is ready for that look, because he looks kind of feral. Like, is it?
Yeah,
I believe that's the word. Like
feral Wolverine. Usually, feral Wolverine happens right after he gets the adamantium in the original too. So I don't know where that goes. But every time he gets that adamantium, he loses his memory. He gets the amnesia because his brain heals him from trauma by having him forget.
Right. And I don't know. I kind of want to see when Wolverine becomes like essentially a dog licking Scott's face, trying to revive him. Like, that's gonna be funny.
That would be really, really weird.
Exactly. It's not gonna happen. Like, which is why I don't know where this is gonna go. Like, I truly do not know where this is gonna go.
Well, I do know that if they can stick the landing in the last episode, this is the greatest show that Disney Plus has done. Like, without a doubt, this is number one. Like, this is their perfect show. Like, I have no notes. Well, I have notes. I guess, like, I do feel like some things were rushed, but that's because, you know, they only give them 10 episodes. Like, the Madeline Pryor thing, I feel like we should have sat with that a little bit longer. I feel like should have let that sizzle, a little absorb, you know, have it, like, you know, marinate a little. But it was only one episode, and then we went to the next one. But that being said, dude, this show exceeds my expectations. Like, when it first came out, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be better than the original. Then when they started off strong, I was like, oh man, there's no way to go but down. And now
I told you.
And now we're here.
I told you, trust the process.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. This is like a near perfect show to me.
Mm-hmm. It's up there, and I am so glad this was not done in 6 episodes, because this would have been a train wreck in 6 episodes.
No, definitely would have. So good.
So good.
What did that man do to get fired, man? Because he did such a good job.
I'm not gonna speculate.
I'm not gonna either.
But I do hope if something did happen, people get justice.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
That is true. Oh man. All right. Well, that's happened in this episode. What do you think is going to happen in the next one? Where do you see this going?
I truly do not know, man. Like, this can go 20 different ways, and you know, we can all have theories, but I don't know.
Yeah, because they're still showing Apocalypse in the intro, so it's like Apocalypse happening. There's a lot of things they're showing in the intro that like necessarily don't have anything to do with the show, because like we haven't seen Mystique, we haven't seen Sabretooth, and they're all in the intro videos. There's a lot of people, Avalanche, Pyro. So I don't know if they're like, that's just in the intro for just to be in the intro. But I don't know, man. I predict Rogue is going to touch Xavier to stop Magneto.
I mean, Carlos, that's a great thing because that's one of the more likely scenarios. But I feel like it's gonna be one of those like she's conflicted and she takes like 10 minutes to figure out like what she should do, and like it's gonna be an emotional final episode for sure.
Yeah,
or maybe the showrunner got fired because he dropped the ball with the last episode.
He just kills everybody. He's like, there's no season 2.
And there's like, no, fuck this, we're out. You're fired.
No, that's definitely not what's gonna happen. I don't know what to expect, but there's things that I want to see. I want to see Gambit come back as a Horseman of the Apocalypse.
Oh, that's the thing I was thinking of. So when Apocalypse wanted to make a Horseman of the Apocalypse, that's when he did the fight with Wolverine and the other person who had the adamantium. Yeah, that's what that storyline was. I remember now. But yeah, that would be really cool to bring back. Yeah, him as a
Dark Gambit. Man.
But then what would happen to Rogue? Like all the emotions.
I don't know. That'll make it good though. We'll see.
Yeah. Anything else you want to see? Like,
I wouldn't mind seeing Dust in this because we did get a cameo, so I wouldn't mind seeing more Dust. That would be cool. A little representation there.
What I think may happen is, and only because of this episode where Morph turned into the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
I think Morph may turn into Magneto and reverse a lot of the damage because Magneto's not going to do it.
Can't do it. So basically, I read his powers. Basically, he can turn into anybody and replicate their physical powers, but not actual powers. So basically, if somebody's powers is that they're strong, he can do that. If somebody's power, if they can fly with wings, they can do that. If somebody's powers is they run really fast, he can do that. But he cannot like have powers that have projectiles come out, psychic energy come out, magnetism come out, fire come out, like nothing like that. So he can't do those things. He can only do physical changes.
Are we sure?
Yeah, they've the I think it was online. They mentioned it. I think the creator said it. And at the end of the thing, it also says it. At the end of the episode, they give like everybody's little bio data.
Yeah.
Okay. So they say
I don't read those. I have a bad habit of skipping the intro and the endings, even though they give so much good information.
You skipped the intro? The intro's so good.
I did. I skipped the intros for the first 4 episodes, and then had to go back and watch them. And I was like, okay, I can't skip these.
Because they change it up on you all the time.
They do. And I was so frustrated when I found out. I'm like, God damn it. Why would they sneak all this important, juicy info in the beginning like this?
Yeah.
And give me a button that says skip intro. Like,
That's true. But like, I think like the last episode, they showed a bunch of people running in the X-Men are like running into each other against like the Brotherhood. There's like people in the middle just like running forward. Now those people are Prime Sentinels, so they changed them. They made them Sentinels.
Yeah, this is a great show.
Yeah, and they were the same people that were chasing down Roberto and Jubilee in this episode. So I thought that was really cool. Cool little Easter egg. And then we get to see Storm in her new costume, which I think is pretty badass.
Yeah, no, I mean, she looked amazing.
Yeah. That's really cool. But yeah, that's all we got for this episode, man. I don't know what we're going to see next. I just know that this show is delivering. And I don't know if it's, I just really hope that like it lands the landing.
I hope so too, man. Like, I'm gonna be so disappointed if it doesn't, but I'm very optimistic right now.
Remember all the people that were complaining about how woke this show was and how bad it was?
Oh my god, you thought it was woke in the first episode? Hang on, buddy.
And how like Rogue didn't have a butt. Like, come on, like let's relax there.
Yeah, this show kind of went to the extreme on the wokeness, kind of like it was really good.
Yeah. First of all, like it's so funny that the anti-woke people, because they were complaining that like Rogue's butt isn't drawn as like,
or Gambit is
right?
like wearing a crop top or some bullshit. Like,
But like, I was like, listen, they didn't like desexualize the show because they do show Magneto spread eagle in black underwear on the show, like attached to this harness. So like, listen, if you're into that stuff, you did get some freaky shit, bro. You're just mad that
So woke.
you're just mad that it's Wolverine Magneto this time and not Rogue. That's all.
So woke.
It's not, yeah, man. Oh well. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Join us next week as we do the finale, and we're gonna have Frankie on our episode. Fantastic Frankie, if you guys know her, she's a good friend of ours. She will be on our episode. Hopefully, Ruzzy will be back. Ruzzy was not able to attend this episode because he is in a different country, I believe.
Yes, and he's doing great work.
Good for him. Shabash. All right. Well, that's all we have for today's episode. Until next time, guys. Salaam.
Wait.
What?
Read this line from Carlos.
If Magneto was a brand new character created today, he'd be from Gaza. Yeah. A lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that. And I feel like there is a lot of similarities between what's happening in Genosha and what happened there. There's a lot of parallels, and we've talked a lot about it on this episode, and I think this is really, really important. It's really interesting to me that people can empathize with fictional characters when they go through stuff like this, but they can't when it's real people going through stuff like this, right? And it's probably a little bit of like cognitive dissonance where like their minds hold two contradicting thoughts. One is that I'm a good person, and the other is that genocide is wrong and is horrible. But if you're a good person, why are you being so apathetic about this? And you have to, and your brain is telling you not to do this. It'll give you excuses. It'll say, well, you know what? These people are savages and they're brutal. And if we don't kill them, they will kill us. Like your brain will tell you this stuff to cope with the discomfort of knowing that like you have these two contradicting beliefs, right?
Yes.
One that you're a good
person,
person,
very easy,
and one that you're being apathetic about this. You can't be a good person and be apathetic about this. It literally hurts your brain, and you find excuses and you find ways to rationalize why you can be apathetic and go on living your life. And we should not do that. We should look at ourselves, look at the hard truth, know what is in our heart, and do the right thing and support a ceasefire. That's all I have to say. All right. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Until next time, guys. Salaam, nerds.
Peace.